Hello and welcome back to the channel. I've come to the Hoppings in Newcastle. It's Europe's largest fun fair, so they say. And I've never been to Hoppings before. I've been to Hull Fair countless times. We tend to go to Hull Fair, 3 or 4 times a year, every year, because we're local to that. Never ever been to the Hoppings. The Hoppings does say they are Europe's largest fun fair. Hull Fair also say they are Europe's largest fun fair. I know Hull Fair's going longer. Hull Fair's been going longer for about 700 years. The Hoppings was established 1882, so still quite a really old fair, but in terms of largest, I think the Hoppings does have about 400 attractions. I don't know if that includes food stalls and little kiddie rides and stuff as well, probably does. And I think Hull Fair has about 250. But looking at the Hoppings, who have just arrived now, it's opening day by the way, just arrived now, and it doesn't look as big as Hull Fair, but I am going to head in for the very first time and take you guys with me. So let's go into the Hoppings here in Newcastle on this boiling hot day. It's 30 degrees today, 30, so that's about 87, I think, 86 Fahrenheit, 30 Celsius. It's a scorcher. I've got the GoPro in my bag to go on any rides. I can take you on with me if we do go on any, but I'm first just going to have a little look round. It's about 10 to 2. Apparently the fun fair opens at 2 PM as it is opening day. This will be the first look around the Hoppings 2025, so let's head on inside. Okay, so this is the car park. It's £5 to park. You can stay as long as you like once you've paid the £5. You pay the little orange booth there. We've got loads of flies everywhere. And then you just park in this field. There is parking attendants showing you where to park. And once you've parked your car, you can head on inside to the Hoppings. I think there is bag checks, so I'll let them have a look in my bag. So I've got my backpack on with my equipment, and then we'll head inside. Okay, so bag check complete. It's now 5 minutes to 2, so 5 minutes until the fun fair officially opens. We're in the little beginning bit here, the main entrance coming in from the car park, and it's all food places. It's I'm expecting to walk around and find things that I recognise from Hull Fair yearly. I know for a fact I've already seen 2 or 3 things that I do see at Hull Fair every year, which is understandable. They're obviously going to travel where the business is, so it'll just be cool to see some of these things in a different place. So I think it is quite a big fair. I do think we've got a bit of a walk down, but I will try and show you everything that there is. I'll try and show you all the rides and attractions. So there's the Helter Skelter. That's the first thing you see, the first attraction that you see when you come in to the Hoppings here at Newcastle. It's free entry, you don't have to pay to come in, you just pay the £5 for your parking. There's the Bavarian style funhouse there. That, however, looks like it's still being unwrapped. It's still got cling film on it and things, so that one is obviously not going to be ready for opening in 3 minutes time, but that's a fun house. And then there's the ghost train. This ghost train, oh no, I was going to say this looks like the ghost train that's usually at Hull Fair, but I don't think it is unless they've changed it up a little bit. That little guy who's on the rope up there, I recognise that from Hull Fair, but this guy here, this animated demon thing in the middle, that's definitely not familiar to me from Hull Fair.
All aboard! The ghost train awaits!
So yeah, we'll walk around first and have a look at what's here, and then we will probably pick 2 or 3 rides to go on and take you on with me with the GoPro. I like, the thing that I do like, I prefer it already to Hull Fair because of the space. There's huge big sort of areas of grass, and as I say, it's on grass, so I guess on a day like this when it's 30 degrees and sunshine, it's not going to be a problem. It's quite nice for it to be on grass, whereas Hull Fair is on Walton Street car park, so it's on concrete. But if it's raining, if you get a particularly wet June, then it probably wouldn't be too handy on the grass. That Jumbo Circus Funhouse, that is at Hull Fair as well. Hull Fair takes place in October. It's usually around the first Friday in October for 11 days, I think 12 days, but they don't run on the Sunday in between the run, whereas the Hoppings just runs from the 20th of June this year, which is today, until the 29th of June. So it's just nice to have all this space. So yeah, that funhouse is definitely one from Hull. I remember it going every year, so we'll see that again in October when we do Hull Fair. The runaway train, I think that is also something that goes to Hull. Miami trip. There is a few things still sort of getting set up. As I say, it's the very first day. It's on for 9 days, and well, 10 days really inclusive, and it's only opening in like the next minute or so officially. So we'll start to see people going on these rides. There's another Bavarian funhouse there. That looks pretty much the same as the one over there, I think, but this one's ready to go. This one's not still wrapped up. And there's a Racerama. You know what? And a Sea Storm. That Sea Storm, I think, is probably the one that does go to Hull Fair. But you know what? I'm actually probably quite preferring this one, just because it's quieter and there's a lot of space to walk around. Sometimes at Hull Fair, as you probably know, if you've seen the video from last year, it was the busiest day on record, one of the days we attended last year, and I've got a video of it, and it was absolutely mental. There's no way you could see this much ground at Hull Fair on that day. It might get much busier on a night time here. As I say, it's 2 o'clock now in the afternoon, 30 degrees, sunshine. That looks cool. The Spooky Tower Haunted House, £4 per victim. And then there's the Ice Palace 3D experience there. There is some new rides that I've not seen before. That looks cool. Different funhouse. Oh, it's nice to see a different fair. The only real big fair that I've been to is Hull Fair. And as I say, we do go every year a few times, but I've always wanted to come to the Hoppings, as it is, it's the self-proclaimed largest fair in Europe, but so is Hull. If you ask Google, if you say to Google, is Hull Fair the largest fair in Europe? It'll say yep. And if you say, is the Hoppings the largest fair in Europe? It'll say yep. There's another fun house. I think that's like the, what is it, the 5th fun house we've seen so far. Hot dogs and burgers. There's the big wheel there. You get some good views of the whole area, the whole Hoppings area from at the top there. I might check the price out on that and go up there a little bit later on to see. Churros. I think there's going to be loads to show you. I will go around as quick as I can, just so it's not an extremely long video. There's a reverse bungee as well there. They do have one of those at Hull Fair. I remember quite a few years back now, one of them bungees actually snapped at Hull Fair. No one was injured. There's a little inflatable assault course there for the kids underneath the big wheel. And another fun house, the Magic Circus fun house. I think that's the 6th fun house we've seen so far. And there's the juvenile rides in the middle here. The food smells really nice. I might have to grab something to eat a little bit later on when we've had a little look around. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you're coming to Hoppings this year. Let me know if you usually come. Let me know if it's your first time, if you've got any questions. If I can answer, I'm by no means an expert, but this is my first time. If you've got any questions about my visit today here, pop them in the comments. I will always get back to you. Another runaway train there. And there's Dippin' Donuts. Pizza. Oh God, it goes really far back, look. I'm just loving the space. I'm loving that you've got room to move about and it's not overly crowded. As I say, it might get a lot more crowded later on in the day, and especially at weekends, but Friday the 20th of June at 2 PM, opening day, opening time here at Hoppings. This is the business levels. It's nice. It's just scorching hot. An inflatable play zone. There's a lot of game stalls and everything down here, so we're going to head all the way to the bottom. I'll go across to the other side and then walk all the way back, and we'll see what other big attractions there is. I think there's some bigger rides across that side as well. This looks like it's kind of like the prize alley where you can win all the teddies, and apparently one of the best times to do it is when fair opens. Early on in the night, if you want to try and win a prize, that's the best time, because they want you to be walking around with your giant teddy to advertise to people that it's possible to win a giant teddy. Later on, as it gets later on in the night, this is what I've heard anyway, this is the rumour, as it gets later on in the night it gets harder and harder to win these prizes, because they're going to get your money regardless. But at the beginning of the day, at the beginning of the evening, that's the best time to play these games. There's a slide there, that might be the slide that's at Hull Fair. on Walton Street at the far end, Springbank, Anlaby Road end. There's another runaway train there and a jumping frog. Licensed to thrill. A sky swing. There's a Tagada. I think there's probably going to be more than one Tagada. They're a very, very popular ride amongst teens. I think Maisie and Zach went on one at Funfair last year, and I don't think they was that impressed because I don't think it went too fast, but I have seen other ones. I've seen ones from here and other ones from Funfair in the past on YouTube where people are flying everywhere, so that's what you want on a Tagada. Okay, so more prizes, more giant snake teddies and hooker duck. It's absolutely scorching. 30. Dirty 30 today. Makes you all sticky. It's took me just over 3 hours to drive here. It is signposted for the parking once you get pretty close by. Once you get within a mile of this car park, then it is quite clearly signposted how to get here. And I'll keep talking because I don't want to get copyrighted on the 80s pop music that they're playing. There's a screamer, which is like a bobsleigh type thing, like a snowstorm. I have noticed there seems to be quite a lot of juvenile rides down this area. All the little cars and things like that, and little roundy round rides for little ones. I do always love the artwork on these travelling rides at fun fairs. Now you got a top spin, look. The JoJo spin. Top spin. You don't see many of them about. There was one I think at Hull Fair the year before last, but on opening day it wasn't working and we didn't get to go on it. We have been on a few top spins this year already because I've been to Toxicator at Alton Towers a couple of weeks ago, and we did do a couple in the Netherlands on our Netherlands mega trip, so we have done a fair few top spins this year already, so we probably wouldn't be bothered about top spins anyway. But up until April, when we went this year to the Netherlands, the kids and Kerry had never done a top spin, so their first one was at Doonwell in April, our first park in that on our Netherlands mega trip. There's another one here, Terror Tower, that looks cool. I just love the theming of these. Sometimes, not always, and I'm not complaining, but sometimes the outside of these sort of ghost trains make it look a lot better than it actually is once you get inside. They put most of the effort and money on the facade to get you in, and then once you're inside, sometimes they are quite dismal. There's a Magic Mouse. These are the ones that must take quite some time to build. These ones must get started earlier. I bet these was probably arriving on site 10-12 days ago for these builds. And there's an inflatable obstacle course as well. 2 of them. This must be the inflatable obstacle course district. One there and one there. £5 for that Magic Mouse that's going around now. Testing, I believe. Is that what they're doing? Is it testing? There's another fun house. It just goes really far back, and then we've got to go all the way back and see what's on the other side. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what I can go on. Oh, I see Apollo 13 over there, the booster ride. That arrived at Hull last year. I think it arrived halfway through Hull Fair's sort of stint of 2024. The Tasty Burger. I see the ghost train. I see the ghost train with Horace Pinker. I'll tell you about it when we get to it. If you've watched any Hull Fair vlogs from the last couple of years that I've done, you'll be familiar with the Horace Pinker ghost train and the mystery that surrounded it at Hull Fair. Oh yeah, there's some more inflatables there. So it's like Kiddies Corner. So I think it's just all several different inflatables, all included, possibly in one price. As you can see, there is still things setting up. There's a mobile zip line there. I'd never seen one of them before. Fun house, another Bavarian. What's with these Bavarian fun houses? Buy 2 get 1 free. That's the third Bavarian funhouse I've seen. £3 per person. 3 floors of fun. There is a lot of spaces, like it looks like something should be here. It looks like this would have been allocated to something, just because it seems like a waste of a big space. But it is really nice that they have huge wide walkways. And then there's a family roller coaster there, a little crazy caterpillar. And it says fare paying adults may ride. You're not allowed to ride for free, but if you're fare paying, you'll get on. If you give them the money, they'll give you the seat. Oh yeah, Apollo 13 looks quite nicely themed with the space rocket and everything. We'll have a look on the way around there. This is usually at Hull Fair as well. As I say, we'll be doing Hull Fair vlogs in October. Another ghost train. Yeah, October I will go and do, just because I live local to that and I don't live local to the hoppings. I didn't do any sort of fair build-up videos or anything. It does interest me to see the build-up process from a few days after the fair start arriving, and then I like to go every couple of days to see how different it looks each time, and it fascinates me. It's interesting, but I couldn't do that here just because it's a 3-hour drive. But with Hull Fair at the beginning of October, I will be attending probably 3 or 4 times prior to the fair opening day, and then 3 or 4 times once Hull Fair actually opens. So if you do want to see the build-up process and the progress made after a few days each time, then do pop a little click on that subscribe button, and you'll catch those in October when Hull Fair arrives in Hull. So there's a few gypsies down here, a few Gypsy Lee. There's Gypsy Asherley. And then a few coffee shops. There is another entrance down here as well, and there's toilets at this end. There's toilets in that corner there at the very back of the fun fair, and there was a block of toilets as well, portaloos, at the very beginning where we started the video, at the entrance. And this must be the fortune telling district, because there's 5 or 6. A little kiddie ride there. That's the first time I've seen somebody on a ride. A noodle hut. Grill house, selling bratwurst. We did have an actual authentic bratwurst in Germany at Phantasialand in April when we went, and that was nice. There's the Joker. I think that's quite a popular one, the Joker. That might be one that I contemplate going on. Some more gypsies there, and that's the Apollo 13. I'm going to have to sort of weave in and out, because I'm not going to walk back down this way, I think. Or shall I? That's the Apollo 13, look at that. All themed to space shuttles and astronauts, and it's just a booster, but it's really, really good apparently. And I think we didn't do it last year. Me and Maisie was going to do it, but the queue was quite big, so we kind of walked away from it. But it is £10 per person. I think that was one of the other reasons it actually put us off as well, the price of it, when you can usually get these boosters for £5 per person. You won't get the Apollo 13, but for £10 I'm not sure I can justify that. Another reverse bungee there as well, but £10 just seems quite a lot. I know it is quite a long cycle. It's much longer than the normal boosters, but you do pay £10 for it. So there's Waltzers and the Fast and the Furious Miami there. Another Dippin' Donuts and the Starflyer. Is that the Around the World, or is it the Sky Dance? That's the Sky Dance. That might be Around the World over there, that Starflyer. But I think the Around the World is probably the tallest travelling Skyflyer in Europe, is it? But that one is not. That one is the Sky Dance. But they are cool, especially on a hot day like this. It'd be really nice to go up there and just feel the wind. But you've got this ghost train, look. This is Horace Pinker ghost train. This is the one where I was so confused in Hull, because for years now I've always noticed this Horace Pinker ghost train at Hull Fair, but for the last few years it was never there on opening day. There was a replacement ghost train in its place, and then I'd go maybe 5-6 days later into the fair and it had changed the replacement ghost train had changed back into this Horace Pinker one, and I was like, for the first year or two it confused me because I was thinking, I'm sure that wasn't there, that Horace Pinker ghost train, because that character there is Horace Pinker from a Wes Craven film in the early 90s, I believe, called Shocker. And it confused me because it just wasn't there when the fair started at Hull, and then it was always there halfway through. And anyway, I looked into it, and it's because it was at Nottingham Goose Fair, and then it leaves Nottingham Goose Fair and takes its sort of predecessor's place by the same company. It's the same people who run both ghost trains, so they wheel their old one out and put this one in its place. So if you go to Hull Fair at the beginning, on the opening day, you are able to ride a different ghost train, and if you go toward the end of it, the last sort of 4 or 5 days of Hull Fair, it's replaced with this ghost train, so you can do 2 ghost trains in the same place, in the same location at Hull Fair. And then you've got a Super Trooper there, and Crazy Balls. We do like these Crazy Balls, you don't seem to see them very often. Crazy Bull Rodeo, but I do like that. I just love that facade with Pinhead and Dracula and obviously Horace Pinker, the Shocker. And then another fun house, but it says it's closed. A closed fun house. There's a Kick Down, which is like a freak out by the looks of it. A Carvery, footlong fries, the longest fries in the world. We have tried them before. And yeah, I do like a good freak out. I don't think I've seen that one before. Kick Down. And then what's that? Is that like a Gravitron type ride where you sort of, let's have a look before. Oh yeah, high speed G-force. So that's the sort of ride where you go, it's like a really ancient ride, like a proper vintage ride. Probably 60, 70 years old, but where you go in and you'll sit around the edge, and then you start spinning the cylinder from a booth that's not in the cylinder, so you can keep an eye on you all, and you basically spin round and round and round, and then as it's going round, the G-force will stick you to the wall and the floor drops, so you basically stick to the floor using just the G-force of it spinning round. And there used to be one at Pleasure Island in Cleethorpes called Gravitron, and it was really cool, it was unique. And there's Vortex, which is a similar concept where you stand up at the side, it spins round and it basically keeps you in, but this one sort of tilts on its axis a bit, so you do sort of go almost sort of round in a vertical circle, so the gravity does sort of push you back so you stay in your seat. And then we've got another crazy coaster here. I'm just not getting copyrighted by Gary and Company from Supergrass. Great tune from 1994 or 95, but I don't want to get copyrighted on it, so we'll walk away from it. There's another little crazy coaster there. And then a waltzer, Clark's Waltzers. The Ice Jet, which is similar to the snowstorm or the bobsleigh, or it just looks nicely themed with all the icicles. That looks really good. I'll go around and get some pictures later on, and I'll get some videos for TikTok later on. I'm just going to do this video first, and then I can put this camera away. And that's the Crazy Bounce. I think one of these, I don't know if it's that one or not, but one of these comes from Scarborough, I believe. That might be that Crazy Bounce, I'm not sure. It's a Crazy Frog ride that comes from Scarborough. And apparently there was packing it all up the other day. Oh, it's so hot. It's literally like Tenerife hot. Some inflatables there. The Dodgems. You know what? There's a lot that are not, that doesn't seem to be running. I know the Funfair officially opens at 2, but I think a lot of it, they've either not got the staff in yet, or they're just not ready. Like this one, the Dodgems, there's literally, the shutters are down on the kiosk and they're all tied up in the middle. So even though it's now officially like 2:20, the opening time of the Funfair has passed, and there's still loads that are just not operating, but I guess it's really quiet. I did find it odd anyway that it was opening at 2 o'clock. Hull Fair doesn't open till sort of 5 o'clock on its opening day. You give time people to finish school and college and some work and things and then get there. You've got Fire Department Funhouse as well. That's a different one. I've not seen that one before. That's got a big twisty slide down the side there, look. But again, there's nobody there. if I wanted to do it, then I can't. I think the grass needed cutting. The grass is quite long. You'd think they'd maybe trim the grass a couple of days before the Hoppings Fair arrives. The Shaw's Fighter. I did that at Hull Fair last year. That was really good. There is a POV of this exact ride from Hull Fair last year on the channel. Me and Maisie went on it, and that is a good one. Another twister. This is Gallagher's twister. I do like these twisters because it was my mum's favourite ride, but I like the ones that go really fast. I like to feel like you're about to hit the sides. And it's like, oh, there's a Tagada. These are really fun to watch when they've got loads of kids on the outside, sat on the edge of them, and then they're flying about everywhere. It's like tossing a salad with all the teens flying about. Okay, you can win a giraffe on that one. Everyone wins a giraffe apparently. Maybe not everyone wins the giraffe that you can see. Maybe you win a tiny little 3 centimetre plastic giraffe, but you win a giraffe regardless. And then there's Turner's waltzers there. Yeah, that's around the world, so that's a massive one, that. I'll show you it when we get closer to it. Another Miami, the XXL Jamaica show. The Jamaica show, Jamaica Extreme XXL. And there's some more inflatables over there as well. So yeah, that's around the world. I do believe this is 60 meters high, making it the tallest traveling one of those. I'm lost for words. No, I did do it. I think we did it, and you get like a little card when you're boarding, and it says that it is the world's tallest sky flyer, star flyer, at 60 meters. And there's people going on it now. As more and more people arrive, we'll be able to go around and have a little look at all the rides in action. So there is another Tagada here. Does it say there can only be one? And it's this, yep, there can only be one. It says on the second Tagada in a row, just from the one down there. King Frog, I think this is the one from Scarborough. This one looks familiar. So this one, King Frog, that is the one that comes from Scarborough. So there was packing that up last week sometime. Drove up here, put it up and ready to go.
Ready, let's go. Come on, move in, let's go.
That's the Extreme. That's quite a good one as well. I just wish it went a little bit faster. I think that's the one that I remember from Hull Fair last year that me and Maisie was going to go on. There was a bit of a queue, so we stood here and watched it for a bit. We watched the full cycle and it didn't go very fast, so we thought, actually we'll leave it, we'll go do something else, and we did. The speed of the cycle we watched actually put us off doing it because it was just too slow. And this is, what's this? Psycho. I think this is brand new, an exclusive look, an Alex Crow and Son exclusive. Psycho. I'll watch this going round if they're going to send this round with these guys on it. If they're going to wait for people, I might carry on walking, but we'll see. There we go, it's ready to go. The floor's lowering. We'll watch it go around a little bit. And this is Crow's exclusive ride, Psycho. I like the sound package on it. Sound effects and loud music. All the lights are working. It just looks really good. I think it looks like they're on a lock, the seats, and I think they'll start spinning around as well on their arms in a minute. Looks like it's building up. It sounds like it's building up to something. The thing about these Funfair rides is you do tend to usually get quite a long cycle. You get a longer cycle on these sort of rides than you do at like theme parks and things. And wristband ones, where you pay one price for a wristband and get unlimited rides for like a specific period of time. The cycles tend to be a lot shorter, whereas these, when you pay per ride, I know you do pay more, but you do get a longer cycle on most rides. And that's the Psycho. Okay, so we'll keep walking round. Good. Another waltzers there. There's a lot of Crows ride because it is a Crows organised event. It is Crows, the company, the Funfair company that organise it now. I think it was signed over to them a few years ago. There's the Max Booster, or the Booster Max. That's a tall one. That looks taller than the Apollo 13. Another Exciter. The big wheel. That's obviously one of the ones that takes the longest to build up as well. I know from the Hull Fair pull on and build videos that the big wheels are amongst the first to arrive, and it does take quite some time to build them up. They'll usually arrive a good 3 or 4 days before most of the other attractions, just to get a head start on building it up. It's the biggie. And then there's some Dodgems. There's a Crazy Cottage over there. I will sort of walk back down anyway, just because I'm missing quite a lot on that last aisle there. So we'll walk down to the beginning again, check out all the rides on this side, and then cross over and come straight back down, and then we would have covered the whole lot. There's another entrance to the Hoppings there, look. There's a big slide, a big inflatable slide, and slush. Oh, lush slush. And it looks it as well. On a day like this, they'll probably sell tons of that. And another funhouse. And guess what? A Bavarian one. A Bavarian funhouse. I think that's the 5th Bavarian funhouse, is it, that we've seen? The Razzmatazz waltzers. There's 3 guys queuing up, look, to put the money in to punch a punch bag. The Super Bowl. There is a lot of rides that are just duplicates with different names and a different theme. The ride mechanisms themselves are just the same, so you know, there is a lot of repeated sort of rides, but some are better than others. So, and then there's the Atmosphere. That's a good one. I have done that one before at Hull Fair. And then Air Raid. Air Raid was at Hull Fair last year, I believe. But it's very similar to like the Excite and the Extreme and whatever the other ones was. There was a few that have been very, very similar. Disco Twist, which is just a twister or sizzler. And then you've got the NFL Super Bowl there. That looks like it's a different colour, so I don't know if it's a different one to what is usually at Hull Fair, or they've just done a paint job on it, but it looks different to this Super Bowl that is usually at Hull Fair, but there is usually one there. And then that is a huge launch tower by the looks of it. That's massive. Spinning coaster. So this is it looks very similar to the one that's being built at Fantasy Island in Skegness, that has been being built at Skegness for quite some time now and it's still not ready, but I do believe from the latest update a couple of days ago, the one at Skegness at Inglemells at Fantasy Island does have the carriages on the track now, so that's a positive sign. So yeah, that is £6 per person to go on that. And it's extremely tall. I've done Hurricane Condor, is really tall at Portaventura, and this doesn't look too far off that. I don't know if it's just perspective or, you know, my aspect where I'm sort of right underneath it, but this literally looks so tall. I'll wait around and watch this do its thing because they're shutting all the empty seats now and we'll be able to see a cycle of it. There we go, it's going up. I mean, they will drag it out to try and get a longer cycle out of it, so they might spin it for a bit, take you up a bit, slowly, spin you for quite a bit at the top and then drop you.
Vapes, hats, scarves, or flip-flops.
No vapes or flip-flops. It's a slow ascent to the top to get your money's worth, or to make you feel like you've got your money's worth anyway. That is such a slow rise to the top. There we go, it's still going up. 2 hours later. 2, 1. He was playing with them, he was toying with them, counted down from 5 and it didn't do anything when it got to 0. You do get your money's worth on that. Okay, yeah, what was I saying? I felt like I've been there about 25 minutes now waiting for that. There's a spinny coaster here. Oh yeah, that's like the one at Fantasy Island. So, and we're heading sort of toward the beginning of the Funfair again now, like the car park area. And then we're just going to go down that last little aisle just to have a look at the little kiddie rides and see what else there is. And then we've literally covered the whole thing. And then I will go and see what I want to do, get the GoPro set up and get on that and see what POVs we can give you. And I'll get some pictures as well for other socials. And we're heading back to all the foodie areas now. Mix your own slush. Oh, they look so good. So good. And that's the beginning, that's where we started. Look, that's the Helter Skelter. So I'll turn back around. We've done the first 2 aisles. I think this will be mostly games and little kiddie rides, and then toward the end it's the fortune tellers, but there's a little football game there. Okay, so we're just going to focus on what's on the left hand side now, because we've done all the things in the middle. They was on my right hand side as I was walking down. So there's a rotor ride, so that's another one of those G-force things that I was talking about a bit further down. That's one of the old classic Gravitron type rides. You do pay £1 to view. You have to pay £1 to have a look and £3.50 to have a go. But that's another one of them. It looks like, is the people coming out now? He's having to manually spin it round, open the door. Do they look dizzy? Was it just those two? They didn't look too impressed. I guess if you close your eyes, you can't tell what's going on, but it probably makes you dizzy. Kentucky Derby or Derby, roll 'em, race 'em. You can win a sausage dog by knocking the cans down, but I always find they're quite hard to do. The way they're strategically stacked, it's hard to knock all 6 cans down with 3 bean bags. And I think it is mostly like prize stalls, game stalls where you win prizes. I've got to be honest, I love the fact that it's spacious. I mean, we'll go over it when we finished it all at the end. I'll give you my final thoughts on it, but so far I just love the space. I love that it's all wider walkways, bigger gaps between places, bigger gaps between stalls and food stalls and attractions and things to get through. However, to me, the ride offering in particular isn't as good as Hull Fair. I don't know if just I might be biased because I just love Hull Fair and I've gone for many years, every year. And as I say, this is the first time I've ever been to, there's a slide there, first time I've ever been to Hoppings. That looks dated, look at that Simpsons truck there, it looks battered, needs a redo. But there's a lot of the rides that are at Hull Fair, so a lot of the rides are just very similar, but I think I was expecting more rides that I've not seen before. And I know if there's only a specific limited amount of different type of Funfair rides you can have, and that's why they'll end up having 5 of the same thing, just with a different facade and a different theming, and it's the same ride. But I don't know, I was kind of hoping that there'd be something that I've not really seen before, or several things that I've not really seen before, and that's not really the case. It's good, I like it, but I don't think I would travel 3 hours to come to it again, not when literally 4 months later we've got Hull Fair, which to me, I know Hull Fair is laid out very differently. All the rides are on Walton Street car park for Hull Fair, and you've got most of the food stalls down one big street at Hull Fair, all down one road to close off, and it's just end-to-end food stalls. Whereas here they've got a little bit dotted about everywhere, and then the whole big car park at Walton Street is just for rides mostly. There is a few food stalls dotted around inside the car park, but not many, and I think it is more cramped up. I think they've probably got a lot less space to use at Hull Fair, hence why they can't have as many items in there, but they use the space much better than they've used here. Well, they use the space more wisely, I won't say better. They cram more things into a small space, but I mean, it's the same with Hull Fair. There is several of the same thing, like we've seen about 5 Bavarian fun houses all in this one fair, and it's the same with Hull Fair. You might get 5 different waltzers and 3 or 4 different crazy frogs, and it's like, I think they should try and maybe limit it to 1 of each type of ride and then get some new things in. It just seems pointless to me anyway to have 5 of the same attraction dotted about in different areas. You can do some archery and some dartery, archery and dartery. Yeah, it is all the way down, look, pretty much all the way down till we pretty much get to, I think, the booster, the Apollo 13. It's all games. So yeah, they'll say, oh, we've got 400 attractions, but you know, 200 of them are prize stalls and 100 of them are food, and then 50 of them are little kiddie rides, and then you've got the bigger rides. But of the bigger rides, you have got some duplicates, but it's still a good day out. I do love coming to the fair. It can be expensive. I've not spent anything yet other than the £5 to park the car and the 6 hours of my life driving here and back again. But to me, that it's been worth it so far. And I wanted to get here early so I could get home early. I didn't want to be here at night. I mean, it might look very different on a night time. It's open till 11 o'clock most nights, I think. And obviously at 11 o'clock at night everything will be all lit up and it'll just look very different. Some water walkers there, I didn't pick them up on the way around. And then little spinny space discs or whatever they're called. There's a day was banned in Hull where you can go up the step and hang on the bar for 2 minutes and you get 20 quid. You pay 3 quid to do it. If you can hang on for 2 minutes on that little pull-up bar, then you win 20 quid cash. But they was outlawed in Hull quite a few years ago because it promotes what's the word? I don't know. It promotes kind of competition, and it's like a measure of masculinity, and it created a lot of friction between guys and groups of guys in Hull. And I think it was responsible, well, not responsible because it was the idiots fighting that were responsible, but I think it was partly involved in a lot of violence in altercations between groups of males who were having a go and trying to out masculine each other and be like, I can hold on longer than you, and like, no, you cheated, no. I don't know. But anyway, in Hull you're not allowed it. So they don't do it at Hull anymore, but you're allowed it up north, up here. World of Games. A free turtle or octopus if you lose. If you win, you get nout. You've got to lose. You don't really, I wanted to see a tagada in operation. I wanted to see the people being flung like a salad. Oh yeah, so that's the fire department funhouse. So we have actually seen everything now. So I will probably have a little walk around now and see what I want to go on. I might actually just put this camera away and use the GoPro and just upload the POVs of the rides separately. So if you've stuck to the end of this video this long to catch the POVs, then I do apologise. I won't be putting them in this video. I will just put them on a separate because some people aren't interested in seeing them, and on the opposite side to that, some people are only interested in seeing the POVs of rides. So it probably makes more sense to just pop them on as separate videos. But if you do have any interest in watching any POVs from any of the rides here that I do go on shortly, then just find them on the channel. They will probably be up just as quick as this one. So if you're watching this one now, it'll be at the latest a day or two later, and the POVs will be on from whatever I do decide to go on. So that, I think, concludes the hoppings for 2025. Full walk around. We've seen every attraction that's around. We've seen a few things on the go. It's very, very quiet as it's just opening time, so I'm not able to show you a lot of the rides in operation and being used, but so be it, I guess. It's because I came just before opening, so it is getting a little bit busier now. I can see there's a lot more people about, and there's people on the ice jet. Look, are they going to start spinning round faster? I like the little polar bears outside. That's £5 per person for that. And as I said earlier, I do like the icicles on the roof. They've put a lot of effort into the theming, and it has a real strong icy polar theme in that, and that's good. And I'm going to get out of the way before Wham copyright me again. Always seems to be Wham. That's the kick down. So I can show you that going around a little bit. I think the things that I've been most impressed with this one is the couple of different ghost trains that I've not seen before ever. That haunted house one across there. The facade of it anyway, not necessarily the inside because that might be terrible, but the facade of the haunted house looked really, really good. And some of the fun houses look really good as well. I was hoping I'd catch somebody on the crazy bulls to see them come flying off. So what I might do is get something to eat and a drink, and then have a walk around, choose what I want to go on, and then get that footage. Okay, so that's it. That concludes my very first ever trip to the hoppings here in Newcastle. My honest opinion is, comparing it to Funfair, I just prefer Funfair. Funfair is so much better. To me, Funfair just feels so much better. It's more enclosed. It's not in like one long line there and back. It's in like a big sort of box. It's like a circle, and everything's just included. Like in the middle, and then you've got Walton Street food area down the edge, and all the rides and everything are sort of more compact in the middle, and it just has a more, I don't know, it just has a nicer feeling than this one. I'm glad I came, I'm glad I tried it, just because I've wanted to try it for a long time. And obviously I love Hull Fair. I go to Hull Fair every year, several times, and we'll be definitely going again this year. But the Hoppings for me is a one and done. It doesn't have the same atmosphere. Maybe it is because it's spread out a little bit more, and it's in one big sort of line all the way down, and then you cross over, and then it's one big line all the way back. But with Hull Fair, you're sort of in a big group in the car park, and everything's in all different directions. You're not just looking down a long corridor of grass with rides either side with big gaps, and it's, I don't know, to me Hull Fair is 10 times better than the Hoppings. I might get a lot of hate for that. I'm not saying the Hoppings is bad. The Hoppings is really good. Loads of good rides on there, loads of food stalls, the people are good. I love the fact that there's a bit more room to walk around, and I like that it's on grass. It wouldn't be very good in wet weather, but it's good that it's on grass today. But the grass could do with being cut. I don't know why they didn't just cut it beforehand, but there we go, that's the Hoppings. I prefer Hull Fair, and I'll be back at Hull Fair in October. So if you've enjoyed the video, please do pop a like on it. Don't forget to click that subscribe button for lots more content like this, and comment down below if you've been. Comment down below if you've been to Hull Fair and the Hoppings, and which one do you prefer and why. I'm interested to know. And let me know your thoughts on this video. So thanks so much for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching from sunny 30-degree Newcastle at the Hoppings 2025. We'll see you guys on the next one. See you later, bye bye.